Hello everyone, this is Redact and this game is called Suzerain. I've recovered from the last episode. That was a little bit too exciting for me. But we'll see if there's any fallout from that. There's been no fallout from... we shoved some other guy in jail. One of those corporate people, can't remember his name, Tusk or something. Never heard back about that. I'm expecting that to bite me in the ass at some point. But she's obviously a spy. So, yeah, it's a shame. But I stayed loyal this time. Well, yes, I always stay loyal. The whole time. Yes, I was loyal to the corporate guy too. But that doesn't mean I'm going to continue to stay loyal. I may need to take out the Supreme Court. But I think I missed my opportunity to do that. But we'll see what comes up. So I need to still save some money somehow. They were complaining about that last episode too. Right, let's do a briefing on the human rights. I was sitting in my office. I looked at the clock. 2:26. It was almost time for my appointment with Sierra on women's rights. See, the way I see this is that if I give the women the right, they will vote for me in the next election. I'm a politician. It's not for any humanitarian reason. It's to get them voting for me. There was a knock on the door. Sierra entered the room with her folders in her hand. The door did not close behind her. Monica entered the room and stood next to Sierra. Who's Monica? Oh no, my wife. Oh, here we go. Mr. President. Anton, before we start, just wanted to thank you for agreeing to this meeting. Oh, I remember. I told her to do something about... I told her to look into it or something. Just duplicate her. I think I did anyway. It was a long time ago. I just wanted to thank you for agreeing to this meeting. I've been dreaming about this ever since I volunteered with the Swordish League of Women. Can't believe the moment's finally here. Oh, can you imagine if I just turn around and say no? Oh my goodness. I'm not going to do that. Anything to make you happy. I think that both of you together would probably be changed to Sordland. I hope you thought this through. Real change required carefully considered plans. Yes, it does. We did. Sierra sat down on her chair and laid out the folder she was holding. Oh, is she still angry? No, it's the other lady that's angry with me. I don't think she's angry with me. She wanted more money, but I gave her some with privatization and stuff, if I remember correctly. We still have a long way to go before Swordish women are able to enjoy the same rights and privileges as men, or even as their counterparts in Orcasia and United Contana. You've been lagging behind this on decades, Anton. And this isn't a moral issue. I've seen enough revolutions in the world to understand the main driver of any change. Money. He's flipped a folder open and started pulling out documents. In United Contana, law dictates that women earn the same wages as men in their respective fields. My research shows that this has led to a 15.5% increase in productivity. You could say this had a direct influence on their superpower status. Orcasia passed laws ensuring maternity leave rights, child daycare centres and tax deductions for working families. In turn, they experienced a 12.6% productivity boost and a flourishing economy. Both countries also have significantly lower infant mortality rates. Statistic, I believe, is directly linked to the improved status of women. Administrations thus far failed to pull Sordland out of its economic recession. She leaned back in her chair. So I'm asking, why not try passing similar laws? At worst, even if they fail to improve the economy, it'd still be a significant step forward for our society. It's only logical. Monica handed me the document. Had a list of bullet points on it. Two of us talked it over, and these are the measures we believe are most urgently needed. I let my eyes wander down the list. Criminalizing domestic violence? Well, yeah. Shouldn't have to tell you that how crucial this is. It is utterly unbelievable that, in this day and age, Sordis men are allowed to legally beat their wives. I agree. It's a travesty. Happy we're on the same page. As incidents are especially high within the Bluedies communities, I would also advocate for setting up a special domestic violence task force in collaboration with the Bluedies women's rights organisations. Monica looked at her strangely. Are you sure that's something we should focus on? The Bloods are different. They have their own rules. Monica, I'm surprised at you. We can't let women suffer under the patriarchy, no matter their ethnicity. Bloods must conform to Swordish law. I'm not sure criminalising domestic violence is a good idea, the Bloods or anyone else. No, it's fine. They must all. We're all one happy family. They must conform to Swordist law. We can discuss the particulars once the law has passed. Support for working mothers. It simply isn't fair that women in the workplace are punished for having children. Remember I told you about Janice, my friend who basically got fired for becoming pregnant? That would never happen to any man. Well, man can't get pregnant, but I see your point. Paid maternity leave and state-subsidized daycare centres would be the key to keeping more mothers employed. That's going to involve paying money, isn't it? I don't want to reward women for choosing work over raising their children. It's true, having children never hindered my career prospects. It shouldn't hinder women either. I'll have to think about this one. Yeah, I don't want to spend more money because that's subsidized daycare centre. I don't have the money. Please do. Moving on. Equal treatment in the workforce. Yes, I agree with that. That's an easy one. Yeah, Monica, it is. Right now, Sordland has one of the continent's largest pay gaps between men and women. We need legislation ensuring that a woman doing the same job as a man is paid the same wage. We would also introduce quotas to get more women into positions of power, in the assembly, for instance, or on the boards of corporations. Eventually, narrowing the pay gap is a far more pressing issue, as it would bring financial independence to countless lower-income women. So yeah, we never talked about this, but I always thought that with more women in power, higher status for all women would naturally follow. Women are starving because they can't make a living wage. It's damn sight more important than your friend Janice being passed over for a promotion. Quotas seem far easier to implement than equal pay laws. We should start there. Quotas are a terrible idea. Should be hired on merit, not simply because of their sex. Yes, positive discrimination. I don't particularly agree with that. Tackling the pay gap. See, the corporation's going to be a bit annoyed about that. But he owes me a favour, that guy. So I'll probably just tell him he's got to live with it. We messed up the Tusk guy anyway, so no one's going to really complain. Tackling the pay gap. Yeah, let's do quotas. Sarah gritted her teeth. We'll see about that. Gender equality in public education. Sarah grinned. You know how much this means to me, and you've witnessed the dangers firsthand. The way girls are shut up out of real education unless their parents have the means to get them out of the public school system. So many bright minds are being lost. I wouldn't entirely demean the old system, Sierra. Diana still loves her handcrafts classes. I'm not saying we'd take those away. Maybe boys should learn handicrafts too. Yes, they should. Monica burst out laughing. Imagine Frank in an apron. Hey, I did cooking classes when I was at school. Yeah, everyone, whether you're girls or boys, will be allowed to have the same subjects. Good, we see eye to eye on the matter. That covers all subjects. What are your thoughts so far? You made a good case. I'm not sure I risk passing these laws so close to the election. It feels like we're comparing Sordland to other nations. We must choose our own path. Yeah, you made a good case. Thank you. We can pull this off before the elections. The Reign administration will make history. Let's talk about how we proceed. I want to establish a commission for women's rights in Sordland with me as its head. Our goal shall be passing and implementing a set of laws to solve the problems we just discussed. As Commission spokeswoman, my responsibility will be to make speeches and organise fundraisers. I will be the face of the movement while Sierra handles the groundwork. If I can show the First Ladies behind this movement, many women will feel encouraged. Sierra gestured down at her outfit. Especially those who aren't keen on pantsuits. The organised name will be the Commission on the Status of Women. It's going to be damn hard getting your laws past the Assembly. Why bother with a commission? I can just pass the laws you want. You'll still need to make sure they're effectively implemented and convince the public the changes will be beneficial. Nia would kill me for saying this, but this is one case where using your decree powers would be fully justified. Yeah, what's going on between you two? We're friends, that's all. Is that the lady that's angry with me? Yeah, she's the only one, I think. I know we've had friction in the past. This has nothing to do with the failed education reform. Completely separate topic, and it should be handled as such. Chance to be the hero. Think about Diana and her future. I hope you make the right decision. They rose from their seats expectantly and took a few moments to think. Oh my good mine. Oh. I hereby declare your laws passed and your commission established. Good luck. Signed decree -2 budget. Fuck. Yeah, I'm on your side, but I want to go through the assembly. You're making me a mistake by not pushing these through right away, but I'm happy for your support. Monica turned to her. That's all the excitement you can muster? You did it. We did it. Monica hugged. She smiled uncomfortably. It's not over, Monica. The true battle is the assembly. We will celebrate once it's done. I'll start gathering names for the commission tonight. She and Monica head towards the door. Monica paused before leaving. I love you, Anton. I'll see you at home. I could hear Monica and Sienna talking excitedly to each other as the door closed behind them. I looked out my window over the city of Holsword. It was a clear day outside. Yeah, I just got no money. Okay, does Monica love me now? I blame Rimbo publicly for their involvement in the affair and Livia's Suno scandal. Women's Rights Commission has been established. Monica will be leading the women's rights movement in Sordland as a public figure. Now, did that do anything about... No, there's still... It's got to go through the assembly. Yeah, I couldn't afford it. I'm sorry, I wanted to. Right, what else is going on? Nothing. Swordish Women of... What? Sordis League of Women donation. Private donation. Oh, I got no wealth. Come on. The most influential women's rights NGO, the Sordis League of Women, is organising a massive fundraising campaign to raise awareness in Sordis society. Reach out to us personally for private donations. Okay. Fine. Fine. Rain makes donation to Sordis League of Women. As the Sordis women continue to march for equality, Anton Rain showed his solidarity by donating a large sum to the Sordis League of Women. This was not only a generous gesture, it marked the first time a president of Sordland acknowledged and personally supported the women's rights struggle. Reached for comment, a spokesperson from the League expressed her gratitude to Rain, emphasizing that new policies will help the women's cause much more than finances. I'm doing it, I just couldn't afford it. Okay, Radical, how are you going to slag me off this time? Anton Rain donates to support women. Will policies follow? Is femwashing all the real deal? President Rain made an unusually large out-of-pocket donation towards the Sordis League of Women, but has yet to budge on women's rights policies. Some of Rain's defenders argued that the issue has always been on his agenda, had to take a backseat as other more urgent priorities sprang up during the first half of his term. This donation could be an indication that they're right, or an empty gesture meant to placate without angering Rain's conservative base. Yes? Right, what's going on over here? Dispute? Oh right, that's that dispute thing. Yeah, we'll do that. Anything else? No, why isn't the economy getting better? So annoying. Alright. I arrived in the city of Vesord with Peter after receiving an emergency meeting request from Josef and Lilias. I've seen the reports of a recent issue that arose between the Sordis police forces. Well, so who are these guys? In the rural... oh, right, so these are like the sheriffs and stuff, are they? Okay. Right. Report said an operation against drug trafficking gang in Vesord failed due to miscommunication. Not hard to guess what this meeting was going to be about. We entered the city hall and made our way to the second floor. I could hear Josef and Lilias' voices echoing through the hall. I opened the doors to the meeting room. The two ministers did not even realise. This is unacceptable! How dare the police meddle in the affairs? The gendarmerie? Gendarmerie? Yeah. Probably not how it's pronounced. It's a French word, right? I don't know. It was your man who started this ridiculousness and meddled with an ongoing police investigation. The voice wriggling louder and louder. He's the... yeah. She's unhappy with me, I think. They're both going to be angry. Real security is my jurisdiction and your men are way outside of Vesord. Please come down and let's discuss this, says Peter. What is going on? Apologies, but Miss Graff here fails to understand her place. Ooh! No, Mr. Lancia, you are the one who does not understand his place. Continue to do so, you will pay for it one day. Wow! They're angry with each other. That's enough. Don't worry, we will solve this conflict of interest. Don't worry, calm, everyone chill, it's all good. This issue has been in the back of my head for a long time and now it caused real damage. Indeed it has because of this exemplary behaviour of your police. Lidis, explain what happened. Mr. Grazer? Who's that? Right, oh well that's Carl. Okay, was tasked with the investigation of a drug trafficking ring in downtown Vesord. We found the evidence of a drug stash located in the outskirts of the city. But to act quickly to put an end to the criminals we've been watching for some time, so we immediately set our police units to catch them and find the drugs in the compound. Miss Lancier and his gendarmerie did not notify us that they were also moving at the same time. Well, you should be talking to each other, God's sake. As a result, criminals got away and we lost months of progress. Isn't there a line of communication between you? Exactly. There is, but the Ministry of Defence decided to avoid notifying the police department about the planned raid. Same could be said about you because the reports show that you knew about the gang and their stash in the countryside. I started tapping the table with my fingers. All I hear is that you're both incompetent. It's getting nowhere. We need to find a middle ground. I think this is the last drop. Internal security matters should be handled by the Ministry of the Interior completely. We are called the Ministry of the Interior for a reason. We can't let any more screw-ups like this happen again. She looked at me. I want them to be transferred to the Ministry of the Interior. What? Women, are you out of your mind? Yusuf turned red with anger. He composed himself after a moment. Can't these branches just try to improve their communication? Just saying. I believe I told you to fix the problem, Mr. Vice President. Well, but with all due respect, there is not another way. Ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. I won't hand a... What's going on? Oh, the question. He's so angry. Look at him. Why? Because it makes sense? I agree. Do you have a better solution? Whenever operations overlap, we should engage at lower rank with the officers on both sides. We could work on establishing that, but it doesn't change the wrong system that exists now. I want you to remind you about your president. That was before this screw up. I remember it very well, don't you worry. I don't remember any promises I made. I did say that I was going to do it for her. I was going to do that because it did make sense. Well, I could blame it on this screw up, but if they'd already been operating under it, it wouldn't have happened. I mean, I agree. They should be part of the Interior because he's the Minister of Defence. What does he want those guys for? He's got to look after the army and the navy and stuff. I remember it very well. Don't you worry. That is relieving. What promise? Now I see what's going on here. Yeah, what's going on here? It set us up to create this. Oh, here we go. That's going a bit too far. What proof do you have? There is no way that the police had arrived at the right time, the month-long search on the exact day and minute Gendarmerie raid. This is conspiracy theory territory. Yeah, let's take it down a notch. There's no need to do that. This is the kind of accusation is unheard of. It's nonsense. If I were you, I wouldn't believe a word Mr. Lancia says, Mr. President. Heed my word, Mr. President. When you're dealing with these situations, you need to always look at who gets what out of it. I won't stand idle by these utter ridiculous and baseless accusations. I don't have time for this. See, this is the thing, because I'm doing it blind, I've got no idea. I could find out later that Lilius is just a complete bitch and will stab me in the back later. I don't know. But I think it's just a miscommunication and it's just an unfortunate situation, I think. Would she really? She would have to find out about the operation that Yosef is doing and then deliberately at exactly the same time make a complete screw up which I could fire her for, or something. It's just a little bit risky, and it seems a little bit far-fetched. Utterly ridiculous and baseless accusation. It seems a little far-fetched because I'd already promised it to her. I'd already said I was going to do it, so why would she do that? Because I've never, like, let her down, as far as I remember. So what's your decision? They'll be transferred. That's what I promised. You are making a mistake. I gave you a huge army, mate. I've upgraded it. It's modernized. You should not be angry. Thank you for being a man of your word. I am a man of my word. Thank you very much. It was the right call to establish a modern internal security structure. I want those criminals to be caught immediately. From now on, work together and don't fight among each other. I want capable and effective members of cabinet. There are bigger issues at hand that need attention. Yeah, there's bigger issues. Focus on them instead of each other. We will do our best, Mr. Right, Mr. Lancia. That's right, Miss Graft. Oh, here we go. I should make them shake hands or something. I left the room to attend to my next scheduled meeting. Oh my goodness. Overview panel. What happened? What happened? I decided to donate money. To resolve the dispute, I sided with the Ministry of the Interior and gave them control. That's where I think it should be. It shouldn't be with the defense people. And then what happened? Order. Yeah, Ministry of Interior strengthened. The transfer has given the Ministry of Interior more powers and internal authority. Organised crime, we still need to sort out. What's going on with law? We still need... Yeah, we're doing the human rights. Hopefully, the game considers women human. So, if we sort out women's rights, maybe we'll have more human rights. Hopefully. Given to the people due to the... Alright, so we need to lift the... Whatchamacallit? Emergency decree. And then it should be fine. Okay, what's going on now? Oh, news. Anti-corruption police investigate state officials. The Reign administration going forward with its unnecessary probe into top-ranking state officials. Cite NIA's anti-corruption police so far uncovering little if any evidence of wrongdoing among the old guard. We at the Post continue to maintain that this is an improper use of government time and resources. Who leaked that? Who leaked that? I remain convinced that this will turn out to be nothing but a witch hunt in the end. Yeah, witch hunts. We've all heard about that. Palace decided to transfer the Gendarmerie, force under the Ministry of the Defence to the Interior following a dispute that occurred earlier this week. Well, the two ministries have resolved the problems and the present reign wanted to improve the internal versus external security structure. Officials from the MOD did not comment on the transition publicly, while the Ministry of Interior Graf hailed the move as a necessary one. Now what? Now what? Read the report from Whole Sword. Anti-corruption policing is continuing its investigation of the old guard. A few leads have been uncovered revealing several low-level cases of corruption as well as a high-ranking party officials' possible ties to the Bernard Circus assassination. This will be duly followed up on. Oh, I hope it turns out to be the guy in charge of the Supreme Court. Oh, that would be lovely. Briefing on the current healthcare situation. Alright. I had a meeting scheduled with Pascal to receive the annual healthcare report. He arrived at my office with stacks of paper underneath both arms. Mr. President. He put the mountain of papers on my desk. It made a loud thud sound. I know this seems like a lot. Reviewing it shouldn't take more than a day. He measured the pile again. Well, maybe two. That sounds just great. Yeah, maybe. Very well. Thanks for bringing these in. No problem at all. They contain very important information about the status of our healthcare. You're not getting any more money. Salaries, spendings, hospital reports, whatever you like. We'll go through this together. Okay, let's begin. He continued. But I don't want to bore you, so I'll quickly summarize. Yeah, okay. I breathed a sigh of relief as he put his reading glasses to look at the document he was holding. We have concluded our report for the year. Our service hasn't necessarily got better compared to the last years. We have several funding opportunities to expand our services in the country, leading to several issues being unresolved. And then you need to do a better job, Pascal. No, don't blame yourself. It was my decision. Anyone can succeed when given all the resources. We need to just do better. I agree, the recession absolutely pushed welfare to the brink, and no further funds means we couldn't do much. But as you can see, this hasn't been the best year for us at all. We will do better next year. That's what I'm trying to achieve. Cleared his throat. Now that I've given you the short summary, there's a very important matter to discuss. You're not getting more money. Sorry. Leaning over to grab his briefcase, he pulled out a tan-coloured package. The package was stamped with big red letters that read confidential. Pascal opened the package and brought out a few documents. He handed them over to me. Take a look. I took the documents from his hand. It was a report from the Ministry of Health. Each page had a stamp on it that read for President's eyes only. The report was entitled Polio Outbreak in Bulgaria. This is very concerning. It is, Mr. President. For now, it seems it's under control. We've put a few villages under quarantine. The total number infected are currently 1,467. Death toll, 23 so far. If we have more outbreaks, the results will be terrible. We are not where we could have been in terms of our healthcare funding. With what we currently have, I'm afraid it might not be enough to curb the infection ratio. It's a very serious matter, Mr. President. Lives of Sordish citizens are at stake. What can we do about it? Done our research. There is a cure. Vaccination was recently invented in United Contana by a doctor, and the formula has been made available for free in the entire world. No matter what the people think about United Contana, if the same thing happened in Ocasio, we would be paying the price for it. Fortunately, because of the state of our current funding, we do not have the required materials, and we don't have the capability to produce this vaccine locally. It means we have to buy it. It will be costly, but nothing comes before health. No, you're exaggerating. There's only 30... I don't want to say that. No, we can't... I'm sorry. There's only 30 deaths. You said infected were under quarantine. I'm not going to improve this procurement. I don't have the money. I was told I had to at least have a balanced budget. We're letting ourselves get exposed to the virus. No, you quarantine them. We're not letting any of the immigrants in. It's fine. Mr. President, this virus doesn't distinguish. It can infect you, your daughter, your son, your wife. Think about them. Beg you to reconsider. No, we don't have enough funds. I'm sorry. Sorry. I might regret this later. Then may God save us all. Pascal's shoulders dropped in defeat. That was it for today, Mr. President. I have done all I could. It'll be fine. I hope. It's going to be fine. He got up from his seat. Thank you for the time, Mr. President. Left my office, leaving me alone with a lot of paperwork to go through. Yikes. Alright, what happened over here? Loferberg Group opens first private prisons. Loferberg Group has finished the construction of a private prison complex in the rural area just outside of Versord. Provides a maximum and minimum security facilities. The new complex is about the same size as Antor Rock, but promises to house twice as many prisoners thanks to smaller cells and stacked bunk beds. Yeah, they're going to make their money, aren't they? Alright, what's going on over here then? Burger oppression. The new special zone designation has been approved by the Supreme Court, and Burger's jurisdiction has several different security laws compared to Sordland's. Extensive powers were given to Governor. Immediately unleashed a dozen arrests and called the local military garrisons to take control of the neighborhoods in different cities. They're resistant to state authority. Rural troops have also started to find potential resistant hideouts. Yeah, this seems to be the only problem where that is going to be, only region where that might be a problem. The bill that was approved, or read the report. Oh. What's this? Miss Edith Agnott. The government decision today has set us back to the Dark Age. Ministry of Economics, Commerce and Energy, Mr. Simon Hull, being rapidly to secure government control over the central bank. Yes, perfecting national paperwork and personal replacement. Even though there's some resistances and pushback from the current chairwoman, Ministry of the Interior, Miss Liz Graff, has helped smooth the process. Good. Who was that? That was that lady. Yeah. Sorry. What can I tell you? I require more power. Yeah, we don't have any money for that. I'm sorry. Sorry. Alright, so I've got to sign some... Okay. 1+ government budget. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. The Assembly passes the amendment to the Tax Bill of 1944 in order to increase tax revenue and reduce the excessive amount of tobacco consumption in the general populace. Section 1 of the TB of 44 to impose 10% tax on all tobacco packages will increase to 30% of all tobacco products sold in the country. Section 2 will protect local industries by giving them a full tax exemption if their products are destined for export. Yeah. Yeah, sign it. Get that money. Oh, yeah. Alright, I think what we will do is we will end it here, but I will just check what's going on over here first. Economy. Pandemic fallout. The polio disease is spreading rapidly to the nearby regions surrounding Bulgaria. Causes mayor to impose lockdown in affected areas. If I'd known I was going to get some money, but I didn't. So, well, that's unfortunate. I never said I would sort that out anyway. What else was going on? Lack of reservists, military interference, epidemic spreads, tobacco consumption reduced. Okay. National security breach, that's a problem. Inexperienced police recruit, organised crime, law. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Right, well that will be the end of this episode. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Take care, everyone.